Hello, hi everyone. My name is Ajole Manuel Sunday. I'll be speaking today to you concerning steps and necessary things needed to travel to whatever destination country you prefer. Firstly, it's good to see you guys again for a very long time. I'm happy you guys are doing okay. With the grace of the Lord and the blessing of the Lord, never leave our lives in Jesus' name. Amen. Firstly, I will say the necessary things or things you need to do before traveling out is you plan and you document all of your plan. What did I mean by that? Firstly, before you travel, you need to define the purpose of the reason why you are traveling. Because many people, or let me say many jackpot syndrome, they just want to leave the country because they want to leave the country. They don't know what is there in the other place for them. And that is why you hear that most people are living off the streets, nowhere to stay, because there's no proper planning and proper documentation of what they want to do, where they are going, or even maybe the agency that helps them to process their travel didn't tell them what it entails or what they are going to meet where they're going. So I'm going to implore us that if we are planning to go to any country of our choice, the first thing first is define the purpose, the reason why you are going there. Are you going there to study? Are you going there to work? Are you going there for tourism? Or you're going there for medical reason, which is what most of our politicians do anyway. So after you identify the reason why you want to travel out of Nigeria, the second thing you do is choose the country you want to go. Which of the country? There's nothing wrong if you have different countries, if it's European country, if it's Asian country, if it's also other African countries. No matter where the country is, the best thing is to choose the country first. Then when you choose the country, first thing first, before doing anything, make sure you have your passports, your Nigeria passports. If you have and it's already expired, you renew it. Then you gather necessary documents you need. What are the documents you need? You need birth certificates, all that, all depending on the route you want to take anyway. And that is why the number 2 steps I talk about, which is choosing a country that you want. After choosing, if you want to go for study, after choosing going for study, you choose the country. Then in every country they have websites. I'm going to be using UK as case study. Official website for UK is gov.uk. In gov.uk, for every immigrant or anyone planning to come there, you go there, you check their requirements. What are the requirements? What are the things needed in order to go to where you want to go, the country of your choice, the route you want to take, studying, work? What are the requirements? You check all the requirements. And brethren, what I will say is, no matter where you are going, no matter the country you are choosing, the fundamental, or let me say the most important piece before planning any travel is money, funds. You have to check your funds so that you won't stop midway. You check your funds. is very important in key traveling. Funds is important because different is not going to be okay when you start the processing and fund is delaying you or not making you push it through. So the first thing is when you know that funds is available for whatever you want to go. I think the most that consume most money is the studying route where you have to be paying tuition fee, and due to the conversion rate of Nigeria to whatever country you're going is a bit more, and that is why you have to check. And even though to study abroad here or wherever you want to go, if you are going through studying, to those that have their BSc, you can go for masters or you can even go for PhD. There are different scholarship you can also check online, browse about that gives scholarship. That will make it easier in the funds aspect. So let me go ahead with what I'm saying. That after having passport, you visit the website, you check their criteria, because I believe Nigerians, we love agency a lot, and most of the agency dupe a lot of us because we don't have idea of where we are going. They just tell us this is available. Even if any agency tell you that there is opening of, let's say, there's slot of maybe to work in this particular country, the country the agency is telling you about, they might have connection, they might have information, but no matter the opening that they're talking about, if you check the official website of the country, it's going to be available, so that you can also verify before committing your funds or anything into that project, so that you will not be duped at the end of the way. So that is why we also must be aware of every situation. Using myself as case study, when I was coming here 2022, is it? My wife is, I was planning to come here to study. And then the lady I'm dating, which is my wife now, was also planning to go to USA to study. So we come together and discuss that in order to further this, instead of going separate way, me going to Canada, her going to USA, why don't we come together and check routes that's going to accommodate both of us? And that is when we found out of the UK route to study masters. Masters where you bring dependents, and we check every necessary things needed. Even the agency we used was like a family because they didn't collect any funds from us. To be fair, they didn't collect anything with nothing. They didn't collect anything from us. So it's like a free service for us. But one thing about everything along the way is we also follow the process, check every necessary things we need, even though things the agency didn't tell us about. We told them that, oh, this is required. We have figured it out and we have asked, because one of the things is if you want to travel abroad and you have some people over there, you need to ask questions. You ask questions. Traveling abroad is not difficult when the fund is available. I'll put it that way. You can apply yourself with just little supervision. You can apply yourself and you get what you want, even without the help of any agency. And that is why it's key you visit any of your preferred country websites, their official website, visit their criteria, everything they need, so you can continue with your processing or planning. I'm using UK as case study because the reason why I said in the first place is, what's your traveling purpose? Is if you're coming to study, are you planning to go back to your country or are you planning to stay? So you have to check those routes. What are the routes you need to take? Because one of the things that will make your stay or your travel easier and good for you is if it is legalized. Because I know many people, see many people that use a different route, which is tourism. They use it to come to UK. Tourism is just like visiting. You can't use it to work. You can't use it to work. You can't use it to do anything. You are just checking around. Meanwhile, they want to use it to stay till the time they collect citizenship. And for year, before you can get citizenship in that route is if you stayed here for 15 years. Now, and that is why, because they don't have legal visa, they try to run around from the police or anything. I don't even think it's possible to run around nowadays from the police anyway. They try to run around or marry citizen of that country so they can also be legalized in that country. And I won't say that is not preferable. So that is why whatever purpose of you coming, if you're coming to study, like UK here, if you come to study, the law is changing every time. You study, you get your graduate visa when you're done studying. Then after getting your graduate visa, you look for work that can provide you with sponsorship. And that leads me to another route. If you're coming to any abroad to work, you need sponsorship. The company must be ready to sponsor you to stay in that country because they are collecting permission from their government that they are in charge of you. So they are sponsoring you to stay. And in UK, you must stay on that sponsorship for 5 years. 5 years before you can get independent leave to remain, which is ILR. So that is that route for that. So the purpose of you traveling, you have to figure it out. What is your purpose? The purpose is, as you are finding a better place for yourself, you must also think of the route you are going to take in order not to jeopardize or waste the money you spend coming abroad. So choose the place of you like. Maybe it's Malta, maybe it's Spain, maybe it's France, or any country, USA, Canada. And I've even seen many people coming to United Kingdom where that is not their preferred country, but they just come here in order to go to maybe Canada, USA, or any country of their choice. The main thing about traveling is just having purpose, the reason why you are traveling, and also you make sure you have necessary documents. What are the necessary documents you need? You need proof of funds, like I said. And in Nigeria, I think they have made it easier. There are companies or banks that can give you proof of funds, but at the interest of maybe 3% or 4%, that you just pay them the 4% or 3% of the money you need. And how do you get the money you need to travel? That is one of the reasons why you have to go to the website too, because you check the cost of living in the country you are going to. You check the cost of living, cost of accommodation, the cost of everything. You calculate everything all together. Maybe you're coming to study, as example, times a year. That's the total of the money you need, plus the tuition fee. you need in your account. So let's assume you need 20M, 40M. The banks give it to you at an interest of 3 to 4% of that 20, 30 or 40M. Then you pay it monthly to them till the time you need it. Because UK government always asks for a 28 days proof of fund before visa application. So people usually do it for 2 months, because after doing the first month, you send it to them. During the course of the second month, that is when they are assessing your visa. They must approve it before you stop the proof of fund. That is, and also to travel abroad, if you're coming for even for visiting, that's tourism, of more than 6 months, you need a tuberculosis test. You need to do tuberculosis test. It's very important. They do it in TLS in Lagos. It's not expensive, so you need it. It's part of necessary criteria you need to travel. And you need your passport. After passport, you need all the necessary, depending on the route you want to take. If it is studying, you need your transcripts, your certificate, school certificate, proof of fund, everything ready. So you don't need to be running scatter. And like I said, you can apply for anything. If you're coming for visiting, you can apply yourself, because I can tell you that ever since I've been in United Kingdom, any of the visa application, I've been doing it myself. For me or my family, you just need little supervision to check through it and you submit. Even to my parent I invited, I do it by myself, because it's easier when you follow the instruction in their website. So don't let any agency dupe you, or any agency tell you that this is available here and this is available, because it's very popular in Nigeria, where agency will tell you that you just need 2 million to travel to United Kingdom because there's one opening and all that. It is a lie from the pit of hell. It's never going to be sufficient for you to come, even for visiting, to do the processing and everything, even the flight money. So that is why we must also be oriented in the way that we study. When you choose your preferred country, you check their website, check what the criteria they need for that category you fall into, work, study, or anything. Because even in UK, people use this content category also. In a place, if you're a content creator, or people use that category also. As youth, you just have to find out everything, make research. If you're coming to study and your fund is not complete, you can try checking for scholarship for PhD. If you have your BSc, you can do PhD abroad without doing masters with your BSc. And if you are going for a work route, you're looking for companies that give sponsorship, you can check Indeed. You see different companies there, even though I think the UK law have prohibited some, but in the nearest future there can be opening even in UK, but I'm sure there will be opening in other countries, and you can make your traveling longer or shorter planning. What did I mean by longer? If you're coming to UK, maybe you first want to go to Malta, or you want to go to Spain, or you want to go to France first before you come to UK, is allowed. All what you just need is get all your necessary documents ready, your funds ready, your passport ready, everything you need ready before the visa processing. Everything you need, the visa fee, the amount they need from you, is all on their website. Very easy, transparent. If you're coming to study once again, work, or tourism, is in there for you. In every country of your choice, just like I use UK as case study, gov.uk. Very easy. Choose, if you're coming to study, choose the university. After choosing the country you want, choose the university, check the tuition fee, then you apply. And they're going to give it to you in as much that you have the funds to study and you are ready to study. And also, after you study, what is your next agenda? All those things you have to have is ready at the back of your mind. Are you going to stay, or are you going to go back to your country? Meanwhile, you check your preferred country you want to travel to. Is it going to allow you to stay, or is it going to send you back to where you're coming from? That's another thing to check. And the best thing and the best way to enjoy being abroad is when you are legally there. You must be legally there to avoid any difficulties, any disruption, or anything. Being legally in the country you are will make life easier for you, your work life, or anything. No issue with anyone. You don't have to be running from anybody. Just like most people are saying Japa syndrome. The reason most people traveling abroad is to have a better life for themselves or their family. So if you want to do that, you must do that legally. And that will keep you at peace in whatever you do. I hope with these little things, in case anyone is having difficulties, or you want to know what is available, where to travel to, you have the funds ready or everything ready, or you need advice from someone that have traveled before, I'm always available to advise and to also help you to cross-check the preferred country you want to go to and the route you want to take. I'm always available. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to everyone. God bless you. Amen.